Saseni, mko fiti? Welcome to Cele's Reflection. Karibuni sana sana sana. Hapa sisi fanya just a few things. Tuna peana hope. Like we encourage each other not to give up. Please, always be hopeful. Usi lose yo. And then be mindful to others. Be kind to one another. Angalia jirani yako, leo ameshinda. Msalimie tu kwa stairs. Mwambie tu ni aje, uko fiti. Evo too, just be mindful. And thank you so much guys for watching last week's episode. Asanteni sana, Wams was so amazing. Personally nilifeel ni kama I'd love to be her friend. Unaona hiyo Faith alikuwa nayo madam. I'd love to be her close friend because yani ilikuwa tu line motivation, encouragement after and after and after. And today I have another guest. God is giving me these people. I feel like wanatumwa tu kwangu, si kawaida. Being October, it's a mental health awareness month. So we did cancer, and now today we are doing about mental health. Today I'm not alone. I'm with Christine. Christine is a mental health champion. Of course, atatuambia story yake, tusikie kwenye ilianzia, atu encourage. At the end of it all, I hope someone out there atakuwa amelan kitu ama amesaidika ama atasaidia mtu mwingine, whichever way. So thank you so much Christine. Hapa tunapenda wageni.
Yes.
Unaweza jintroduce tu kidogo kabla ya.
My name is Christine Ombima. Yes, I'm an environmentalist and a community development expert, currently working as a teacher, and I have a lived experience of a mental condition known as bipolar mood disorder, which inspired me to fight for the rights of those with mental illness, and that's why I'm a mental health advocate.
Thank you so much for coming. Teachers have a very special place in my heart.
Yes.
Yani, the work you people mnafanyanga, ni Mungu tu anaweza walipa. So thank you so much for coming. Sasa nataka utuambie tu where, by the time you're getting to become a mental health champion, I'm assuming it's either you've had an experience, like own experience, ama something tu ilifanya tu kataka kukuwa mental health champion. Nataka kujua kitu ni gani.
So let me just say my life experiences are what shaped who I am right now, the kind of things that I advocate for right now, which is mental health, because of the kind of stigma that I have gone through. So nilizaliwa like a normal child, but what I realized is that I was so introverted. I'm the kind of person who couldn't relate with my peers. So people are hanging out, the teenagers going for parties, me, I'm following my mom wherever she's going. For chama, even people are going for like camps, the ones for Sunday school. I'm following my mom around. She was a Sunday school teacher, following her around all the time. And I started teaching Sunday school at a very tender age of 13 years.
Wow.
So it continued like that. In high school, there was no drama. So in campus, where my mental health struggles started was when I lost my firstborn son. So I got pregnant while I was third year in campus. The guy akaruka story. So hapo ndo stress ilianzia, but it wasn't anything, at that time it didn't raise any eyebrows. But the moment I went to deliver, it was a distressed delivery. And the child lacked oxygen, was on oxygen for like 2 weeks. So I had exams waiting for me at that particular time. I used to leave the child in hospital, go and do my exams, come back. So it was really difficult for me because I had imagined people just deliver, they breastfeed their child. At that time, I never even knew what breastfeeding is because the child lacked oxygen, even the reflexes for suckling, hakuwa nazo. So it was really tough. The child was on formula for that while, and it really had a toll on me.
Ulikuwa what age about your time?
Your time, 2010. I was around 23 at that particular time.
So na imagine umepata mtoi. Ndo hiyo kona, you're doing your exams.
I'm doing my exams.
You're still an introvert?
Yes, still introverted. Alafu the guy is out of the picture. So it was so tough for me and my family. So we stayed in hospital for 3 weeks, went back home. And unfortunately, the child passed on 5 weeks later.
I'm so sorry.
And that's how I was diagnosed with postpartum depression, which is whereby it's a feeling of overwhelming and sadness, mostly for mothers, new mothers, just because expectations are not met. Now you see, for me, I had assumed I will get a normal baby. Guys at that time had gone for attachment. Mimi sikuwa nimeenda attachment. I was just in the house. Charlie ndo huyo, I thought maybe kungekuwa na happy ever after. We are living together. He's out of the picture. So it was so tough for me at that particular time. So I remember even washing a cup was a problem. Ile yenye unaenda mawazo zimekusonga akili, even washing a cup, hygiene, doing chores around the house, it was so difficult for me. And it's like my parents and also my siblings, they had to take care of me throughout that time. You can imagine a child, the time I had a child, mwenyewe sijielewi, alafu mtoto ndo yeye anakufa, mimi bado nabaki kama sijielewi at that particular time. I remember I was so suicidal at that particular time, and I happened to overdose, by the way. I really felt so bad, like life had lost meaning. So guys went for attachment. Christine is just in the house, and what happened, we resumed. Yeah, I still went back to school. Things started getting better because my mom took me for therapy and also spiritual intervention plus medication. I started getting better. Now there's a twist of events. The final semester in campus. So nikaenda vizuri, I did like 2 more semesters. Now my final semester in campus in 2011. That's when things took a different turn. Here I was depressed. I have lost interest in life. So I turned from a church girl to a party girl. The dressing changed. You just know how party girls are. From Monday to Monday ni sherehe tu kila wakati. Dem mwenye hata hakuwa anaongea na watu, I started like keeping company ya wale wase wa Rui campus. I had never stepped in a club. That time, I think I sampled most of the clubs huku. Ni kutembea huku na huko. So I remember the time tunafungua shule, my mom just told me, here is the school fees. If you feel like you want to pay. Kama unajisikia ukule, kula. And I did the latter. In a span of 1 hour, nilikuwa nimesha squander all the school fees. I went and bought stuff. In my mind, I had told myself, wase wakiwa 4th year, by the way, they normally get jobs. So waenda, ubai vitu, wanze maisha, you will get a job, na maisha itakuwa poa. So I remember I'm partying. Yes, I got a job, a very nice, well-paying job. But now with partying, in the morning naenda nikiwa na hangover. I can't even do much. Kuongelesha watu vibaya, dressing ni mbaya. Yani sikuwa na hadi hiyo ethics ya job. I lost the job shortly after. Ndo hiyo I've squandered the school fees. Ata hostel yenyewe sikupata at that particular time. So I was crashing at a friend's place. Lectures I'm on and off. Ujue sijaregister, juu sijalipa fees. So it was really difficult. My mom your time. So what happened? Hiyo siku nimeenda sherehe yangu kama kawaida. It was on a Saturday. Nimevaa vituko tu zangu. Come Sunday morning, mi nikajiambia, sinapita hapo church, siniingie tu. Hiyo time hata sijui mtu natoanga guts wapi. Na hivyo ndo niliingia with my funny dressing. So I made sure sijaonana na mom. So my pastor is the one who saw me. Akaambia, mom, by the way, I've seen your daughter. Venye amevaa, this girl is not okay. Chances are, probably she's using drugs. What you'll do, take her to a psychiatric facility the next day so that maybe she can get psychiatric evaluation. That was the first time to step in a psychiatric facility. So mom called me, by the way, Christine, come over. You've been so good to me. Nataka kukupeleka wapi? Date. Shock on me. Ni hospitali tunaenda. The psychiatrist ndo akaanza, but do you know you're very crazy? You're doing hard drugs. I got so annoyed.
Were you doing drugs?
No.
Or you're just partying?
Just partying. So I'm like, now what's this? Mi sifanye drugs. I'm not crazy. So unajua tu mtu mwenye hiyo denial. Mimi si mwenda wazimu. What are you talking about? I walked out on them. So ikiendelea hivyo. So it's on, off, up and down, up and down. So that continued for quite some time. And I happened to drop out of campus that 2011.
So you just, the last year?
Yeah. And you see, all through campus, I was the one who was topping in our class.
Oh, no.
So even my mom was so frustrated. Akaanza kusema, woi, hii KU ni kama imeroga huyu mtoto wangu, Kuna mtu alifanyia mtoto wangu kitu mbaya. Now what's this, What's this now? What is this she's turning into? So it was so
So I can
difficult.
So I can imagine your mom all your life umekuwa mtoto mzuri, umekuwa hadi Sunday school teacher, umekuwa ukienda na mako chama. Like you've been this mommy's girl all along until campus.
Until campus.
So kwa nini asiblame hiyo shule?
Si ndio sasa alikuwa anasema KU ndo iliniharibia mtoto wangu. Makosa tu nilifanya ni kupeleka huyu mtoto KU. Oh, no. Imeniharibia tu mtoto. Look at you. Right now your classmates have graduated, and just imagine siku ya graduation yao I went and I danced like a mad person. Watu wana graduate, alafu you see what happened? My mom anashangaa people are graduating. Christine is not talking anything about graduation. Siongei hata anything about graduation. Hajui ni nini inaendelea. Sasa ndo akaenda kampo kuulizia, wakaenda na my dad kuuliza what is happening. Wakaambia by the Christine kuna semester hata hakulipa school fees, hakufanya exams. Why? See, I had to disclose. Nikasema yenyewe mimi nilikula school fees. Oh no. You can imagine the frustration on their faces. So it was so bad. So ikaendelea hivyo on and off kuanzia 2011 mpaka 2015. Yaani mpaka napelekwa hosi. Yaani kafika time nakuwa depressed, I get so dirty, even for a whole month sijaingia bafu. Sijachana nywele. That's depression for you. It was really bad. Napelekwa mpaka hosi, wanachapa test zote because my mom had assumed with the reckless behavior this one is having, maybe hata akona kale ka ugonjwa kabaya. Ameamua ame lose hope in life. Nenda wanachapa test zote, nothing. Kabisa hakuna chochote.
By this time unaishi na madhe ama sasa
niko tu kwa madhe bado. Ilibidi nikarudi. So a certain daktari told us, by the way, Christine, huyu ana need to a man mwenye atamwafaa. Mamwambia anampenda, she can get another child, life is better on this other side. Na hivyo ndo he did. For 1 full year tulikuwa tunafanya therapy. Hadi I got better. Nikarudi shule, nikamalizia. And that was the time I got pregnant in 2013. Bado tu maisha inaendelea tu on off, shule hatujui nini inaendelea. Mbona si graduate? Mbona si graduate? But it's because also I had an issue. I had engaged in a fight with a certain guy. So unaona hiyo time I just meet random people. Chali ananikatia staki stories zake na bado namfuata tu. So that day I happened to go to his room. Mimi nimetoka zangu, nimekunywa, niko sawa. Zikanionyesha huko. Nikaenda nikapata pombe, kumbe ni ya bash. Si nikakunywa pombe ya wenyewe. The guy got mad. What I remember ni nilikuwa nagongeshwa kwa ukuta. Oh, no. Then alafu unajua he was an influential student leader. Akaita mob. Nikatandikwa. Then that's how hiyo kesi ikatoka ikafika mpaka Senate. So kufika Senate, my file was taken from the registry. So hata ufanye nini, you can't graduate until you attend a disciplinary hearing. And that's disciplinary hearing nayo nilienda. So fast forward, 2015 is when I lost touch with reality. Something we call psychosis. So I remember that was the time Obama was in the country. And before that, I was undergoing such a difficult time. I was having relationship issues. I was juggling between 2 jobs. I remember I hadn't slept for 2 weeks. Insomnia. That's also a sign of bipolar disorder. A warning sign. So that time Obama was in the country. Christine imagined she's a journalist with CNN. Sent on mission to cover the president. So I just started talking Obama. I started talking. And I have my pajamas on. Sikuli, silali, siogi, sifanyi chochote. Ni kuongea kwanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni. We, mama nashangaa huyu ni nini? Ameenda kavuta vitu zake, kichwa imeruka ama ni nini hii? So it was so difficult. Naeka mziki na dance. Home, like a mad person. We, nikaekwa tu kwa taxi, and that's when nilipelekwa at a certain private hospital. So that night, even just sedating me was a problem. Ujue sijalala 2 weeks. Energy nayo niko nayo kama watu sijui ngapi. They try to tie me down, wananidunga bado silali. So they just so, this is too much. And that's how I was referred to Mathare Hospital. So Mathare ukifika, I remember I was told there's a certain mama sijui ni nini alikuwa ananiambia. I got violent with her. Nasikia nilitandika mama wenyewe.
Oh no.
So I was
Like,
tied up.
ukifanya hizi vitu
and tied up.
Christine.
Uh,
Sorry.
yes.
Ukifanya hizi vitu zote kama kutandika, kama kunywa pombe ya ule boys, how feel unafanya makosa? Like unaingia kwa boys ya mtu, kwa nyumba ya mtu unakunywa, ama akili yako ina feel nataka kumfanyia madharau, ama wewe feel unafanya makosa?
So that's what we call impulsivity. At that time akili yako kenye imekwambia ufanye, so unaona in your right senses unajambia is this right really? Unajiita kama mkutano. Hiyo time hakuna kujiita kama mkutano. Umesikia ni dunda unataka enda.
Songa.
Hata ujui hata ni saa ngapi unatoka tu unaenda, ujui hata ni wapi unaenda with or without money. Kwa hoteli unaenda kama ni kukula, you just eat without even money.
So what condition is that?
It's bipolar disorder.
That one you don't even think about.
Si ndio hiyo, it's impulsivity.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was saying what happened sasa si nikapelekwa Mathare. So from there ukipelekwa in that state, strong room 3 days you're injected. You sleep 3 days straight. From there sasa unajipata umevaa hizo nguo za ward. Akili imeanza kurudi form. So it's like they slow you down by force. And that's how sasa nikaingia ward. I stayed there for around 2 weeks. So that particular time, hizo dawa zenye nilipewa, you know, I was behaving a different kind of bipolar altogether because everything was extreme. So the meds they gave me were for bipolar 1, not bipolar 2. So I started drooling. I even forgot my name. As in so many things, memory was affected. So even my name, I couldn't even remember. So I remember I was discharged. Even taking care of myself, hygiene was a problem. Even lifting a spoon to my mouth was a problem. I was so suicidal. So I was taken back to hospital and my meds changed. So it was that particular time at Mathare, that's when I got that diagnosis of bipolar mood disorder. So I was taken back to hospital, the meds changed, and that's how the journey began.
So let me ask you, and I have so many questions. So all this time, kama hiyo time ya Obama, wewe ulikuwa tu home but unafeel ni journalist.
Na feel sasa ata I'm dressed differently. The president is here. Namuona tu.
And you're feeling like this
yes.
without having taken anything.
Anything. Niko sawa kabisa. You lose touch with reality totally.
You're in a very different world.
Yes.
You're not even consuming anything.
Nothing.
Like ni mind too.
Mind too in a shift.
At what point, kama hiyo time ukiwa KU, at what point uli feel, okay, you are not feeling anything, but at what point uliona ni kama hapa hivi yenyewe I'm doing extreme?
Sasa hiyo time in 2011, penye nilianza kukua reckless, spending, nikashika pesa, nikakula, which wasn't me. Alafu sikuwa, as in hiyo tabia, ilifanya mpaka my siblings tukaanza kufight kabisa. Alafu at that time, my parents had separated. So it was so tough for me.
A lot.
So that time unashanga, kwani what is this happening with me? Hii behavior si lenye nimezoea. I'm getting into trouble most of the time. Watu hata wameanza kuniogopa. Classmates hata they don't want anything to do with me. It was so difficult.
So ukaenda Mathare 2 weeks, ukakuwa sawa, ukaachiliwa. The meds were okay for 2 weeks.
Hiyo 2 weeks meds zilikuwa mbaya. Nikarudi, nikapewa meds mzuri zenye I'm also taking until now.
So after hapo ukaenda Hosi?
Nilirudi Hosi tena.
So now, meds. So sahi, meds zako ni za ku...
Hizo sasa, you see, for the meds, they help with the transitioning between the highs and the lows.
Oh, bipolar is both
extremes.
Yes,
both extremes. So mania, whereby you have an elevated mood, whereby you feel extra happy, when you are high. All the time, it's like you're high. So at times you also have grandiose thoughts. Kama you imagine you are such a very prominent person in society. Even the things you talk. You are talking about very big plans, Niko na hata 1 million kwa bank, Niko na 1 million kwa bank na nitafanya hii na hii na hii na hii. So many things. And then now for the depression is whereby you feel very low, you're so withdrawn. And now for the hyperactivity also comes with insomnia, comes with overconfidence, you talk a lot. And now, sir, after everything, the dust settles, you start regretting whatever it is that you're going through. And now you get into depression. So unashangaa, we, kwani jana kulienda aje? What did I do? I had maybe this and this money in my account. Sai sina hata bob. I've disappeared from work for maybe like 2 weeks. Sionekani kazini. Sasa unarudi, gosh, ningefaa nikuwe job. Nimehepa hadi home, nimeenda maybe kuishi hata kwa street ama kwa mabeshti. That's when you remember. You come back. So and you start regretting, and that's when you sink into depression, and the cycle continues.
And now you're okay. Now you know how to handle yourself. Like now you know when to. Zinakusaidia kabisa.
Yes, now I know the warning signs. Like for mania. Nikiona tu naanza kuongea mingi, hata job wanajuanga. Wakiona tu Christina anaongea mingi. Because there's a time I talked from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. continuously. Continuously, one story after another. Hata sikupei chance ujibu. Natoka tu hapa, naongea hapa, natembea, natoka hapa, naenda. Nikiwa na pesa, nasikia ninunue tu vitu. So, by now I know the triggers. And then insomnia. Nalala hata kama ni 2 hours. Ama nakosa usingizi at all. That's a warning sign. And then now for the other pole, which is depression, when I feel I have lost interest in whatever I used to do. Kama ni kuamka job, it becomes a struggle, hata sisiki kuamka. Simple things, sitaki kuongea na watu. I become so withdrawn. And then I get so irritable. Mtu ananiongelesha kitu hivi, unamwambia maneno makubwa. So, anashindwa, kwani huyo ameamka na mimi? Na majibu ziko tu. So I just know, hapa ni kubaya. I need to go to a psychiatrist. So and at least, nimekuwa nikideal tu na treatment using medication peke yake. I just embraced therapy recently. Na therapy at least imenisaidia to have coping skills. Zenye zimenisaidia sasa. So, this disorder yenyewe imenisumbua sana. Because, you see, my undergraduate course took 8 good years. Because of the postpartum depression. And then
finally went back.
Yes, I finally went back and graduated. Yes, 8 years later. So getting a job. Hapo ndo saa kizungumkuti ilikuwa. Unaenda, unafanya interview vizuri, hadi training and everything. Then you give the HR your papers. They're like, this gap. Kwa nini umetake 8 years in campus instead of a 4-year course? Na tunaona wewe ni mtu wa government sponsored, si eti wewe ni self sponsored, useme ulikosa school fees. What happened? So unapata tu, maybe in my naivety nasema I got depressed at this particular time because of ABCDE, and that's why I took 8 years in campus. Why? Because of depression. They're like, no, we can't work with you. This nature of work is really, really stressful. It was in the banking field. It's really, really stressful. So you can imagine the guys we trained with, they're being posted to different branches all over the country. Christine, do you na regret yake? I sank into depression.
Oh no.
Shortly after, I got another job with a certain NGO. Triggers zenye zinakam, come July to around August, September there, when there's the cold season. I normally suffer from what we call seasonal affective depression, whereby the low weather conditions cause the production of serotonin and dopamine. These are the neurotransmitters that regulate mood. So zikikosa kuproducia venye inafaa, mood wa ina dip, inaenda chini. So that time I was so depressed. A lot was happening. Kuna triggers, weather ndio venye inakaa venye inakaa. So I happened to tell my boss, by the way, I normally suffer from a mental condition. So akaniambia, by the way, you don't worry. I'll just give you compulsory leave. You just go for 1 month. Then when things get better, you will come. So that time, I happened to start being outgoing. In my mind, nikajiambia, na feel kuset up NGO yangu. So I started going for events, meeting people wenye wako na organizations zao. So it's like mentally I was just preparing myself. So the day before sasa ndo nafaa nirudi job, D-Day saa nirudi job, nikaona tu kwa WhatsApp group, removed. Next, nika text, return to us in the morning the office key. That was it. I was sacked. So I got so depressed. 8 years in campus, Nimedhani sasa nitaanza kukua bola, juu na get dopoa, nimepata job mzuri, then I get that rejection. Kweli, I felt so bad at that particular time. And that's what informed my mental health advocacy journey. So I happened to have the idea of starting a mental health organization that advocates for the rights of persons with mental illness through dance, art, sports and fashion. So the turbulent journey that I went through is what informed my advocacy. I turned my pain into purpose.
Wow. What are some of the things like, nimeelewa kuna hizo challenges kwa maofisi, hawaelewi depression, hawaelewi bipolar. What are some of the challenges ziko huko nje kwa organization to mental health?
So to begin with, nobody wants to be associated with somebody with a mental illness. You are like a liability to the employer. So employer naona each and every time, mara you are on meds, at times you feel sleepy, at times you are not even happy. Siku zingine uko very productive, other days you're not. You become a liability to the employer. And most organizations, what they don't know is like they need to support this kind of people, not sacking a person because ako depressed. Instead, kama ni therapy, lipia employee wako aende therapy, akue poa so that they can be able to perform. Sensitize your employees on matters, triggers ni gani. Kuliko mtu aende anze ku-self-medicate na alcoholism, it compounds the problem. Afadhali wakwe aware, wajue. Nimeanza kukosa interest in whatever it is that I'm doing, in depression. I should go and seek help at a psychiatric facility ama niende kwa counselor. So there is a lot of lack of information out there. And now the stigma associated now with mental illness. Kwanza ukiambia mtu with the kind of work that I do with advocacy, unaambia mtu enda Mathare, by the way utatritiwa vizuri. Mtu anakuambia Mathare, uko kwa enda wazimu. Mimi niende kufanya nini kwa enda wazimu? Forgetting that huyo mwenye na stigmatize watu akiita mwendo wazimu, yeye ndo hata mwendo wazimu zaidi kuliko hao watu wengine. That is what people don't know. And there's a lot of stigma surrounding seeking help at a psychiatric facility. Me, when I was diagnosed with mental illness, nika disappear out of social media for hizo 2 weeks zenye nilikuwa hosi, cause simu ilibaki na my mom. So, one thing, ukiona mtu by the way disappear social media, anakuanga active, simu haziendi through, hayuko, be sure they are going something, undergoing something. If you're able to reach their friends, be able to call them so that they can be able to like look out for them. So, be your brother's keeper. Yeah.
What are some of the, like sasa kama hivyo kwenye ulisema ulikuwa una feel umechoka, sometimes you don't want, interest inaisha. Kuna mse hajui, like I want to look out, maybe I've been feeling something of late, I'm not so sure. What are some of the things that you can pinpoint if you're feeling like this? Maybe go see a psychiatrist, ama go see a doctor.
So for starters, withdrawal, whereby when mtu umezoea ku hang out na mabeshte, you just want to lock yourself in the bedroom alone, sleeping all the time. And then hygiene. So you're sleeping all the time, oversleeping now. And then hygiene, whereby you start neglecting yourself. Mzee alikuwa amezoea anapiga luku kabisa. Suddenly unashangaa hata nywele hatengenezi, brush meno, anakaa mchafu all the time. So that's also a warning sign. Another thing, feelings of hopelessness. Mtu hata hana matumaini na maisha. Hata mnaongea tu yetu, anaongea tu, mimi yake nimechoka na hii maisha venye inanipeleka. Na wengine inaendanga hivyo anaanza kufikiria, mimi nasikia tu nikufe, hata sina umuhimu na hii maisha hata kidogo. Others will take to alcoholism. Mtu anakunywa. Wengine they take to reckless behavior, reckless sexual behavior, sleeping around because amelose tumaini na maisha. Yeah.
Sasa kuna mse ako pale nje anaogopa, anasikia story ya mental health, especially this month. So we are supposed to check on our friends when you umesema it's okay, but now there's someone who is scared because you're stigma nayo inakuanga like it's the society needs to learn when to, because tunaona tu mtu akienda Mathare unasema ni mwendo wazimu. Basa kuna mzee unafaa umpatie hope, umpatie nguvu, because you're okay, you work, you have your organization, you're a teacher, but the person is scared to go and seek help. Ebu give him a piece of encouragement, maybe.
So what I can tell you, being diagnosed with a mental illness, yes, it is really, really difficult. For me, it took me 4 good years so that I accepted my diagnosis. But what I can tell you is that it is not the end of life. One thing, the first step is you accept that you need help. So for the signs that I've mentioned, If you feel hiyo yenye hata ukiona mse mwenye mko na yeye ame lose interest kwa hizo vitu zenye huwa anafanya, dressing yake imechange, amekuwa mchafu na hizo feelings of worthlessness, we have hotlines. For example 1199 ya Red Cross, unaweza mwambia, by the way, can you be able to call this number uongee na counselor, at least you share whatever it is that unaenda through. They say a problem shared is a problem half, is a problem solved. So it's really, really important to talk to someone, even talking to a friend. Ataweza kukwambia nyewe hapa hauko sawa, go and seek help. Yeah.
And there are those things, even without calling, there are those activities nasemanga, hata tembea, toka nje kimbia, like tingisha akili.
Exactly.
You know, you get to feel yourself, you get to find your inner self. Juu most of the times unaweza kaa tu Sunday mzima, like weekend mzima, hausikii kufungua curtains. Hausikii. Maybe you're not really sick, but hiyo environment inaweza fanya ujipate una sunken, una dig deep. Yeah, so naonanga majuu akiwa na zile round tables za, cause yeah, mtu anaweza chukua simu apigie Red Cross, mwingine anaweza jitokeza ende hosi, but kuna wale wenye hawaezi. Like they need, you see, if I met you and you told me about your story, it will be easy for me to tell you my problem. So kuna mahali, like, can they reach you? Do you have those communities? Watu wanaweza jitokeza msaidiane?
Yes, we have support groups that mostly are on, many are on WhatsApp, others are on Facebook, others are on IG. Like for instance, I also run a support group known as Stand Out for Mental Health. We are normally on WhatsApp, whereby we have professionals, we have persons with lived experience, we have caregivers, and we encourage one another. And that was my turning point apparently in 2019. The moment I joined a support group, I was able to find people who have gone through whatever it is that I'm going through. I found a family. So we have the families that really, really support people with mental illness. So if you want to be added to the WhatsApp community that we have, you can write to me a message on WhatsApp. My number is 0728 693669. You can also follow us on social media, Stand Out for Mental Health, and also follow me on all social media platforms at Christine Ombima.
Thank you so much, Christine. I feel like that's easier. Me telling you my problem because you have, and like huku nje unaogopa sana, itaambiana waseme wanini. Yeah, but thank you so much, Christine. Yes. And I am really grateful that you're even able to share and encourage them.
Yes.
Naona wakisikia Christine na wakuone, like, oh my, kumbe it's doable. It's not like a matter of life and death. You just have to know your triggers, know how. So maybe the last bit, huyo mtu sasa ako pale nje mwenye anataka sasa kuja kwa support
group. Support group, yes.
Mu encourage too.
So what I was telling you is that having a diagnosis of a mental condition, it is not a death sentence. Hiyo time si eti utafeel niende nichukue hiyo kamba, nijinyonge nikufe, niache kuteseka. Yes, mateso ziko, but you can live productively once you accept that you have a problem. The first step is accepting that you need help. And as I have said, you be your brother's keeper. If you realize a warning sign in your friend, ask them to seek help. That is the first step. The second step is, the first step is asking them to seek help. And we see we have a lot of online resources that are able to help people with matters mental health. For example, I've told you about the hotline here, Red Cross, whereby you can be able to call 1199 and you'll be able to talk to a psychologist 24/7. Alternatively, we have many hospitals, clinics around Nairobi County, and they offer free psychiatric care. So you can just walk there, you go and talk to someone, atakuelekeza. Also, these level 4 hospitals, they have a psychiatric facility. Unaweza enda uongee na counselor. Even kwa hizi support groups, kuna hawa pia counselors like myself. Yes, sijasomea vitu za mental health, but given that experience yenye nimekuwa nayo, I'm able to give others hope. So through that, you can be able to know whatever it is that you're going through. And then we organize hangouts. Like on 12th September, during World Suicide Prevention Day, we had a hangout at Arboretum, whereby we had group therapy, we had yoga, we had speed dating, we had a lot of activities around creating awareness on mental health. And you see, ever since I shared my story to the public, I've been using social media so much to share my day-to-day struggles with mental illness. So many people out there are sharing their stories. They are going bold, healing loudly, encouraging one another. And you see, when you hear a story from another person, it is easier when you relate with it. Yeah, so out there, badala tu ya kuonanga tu TikTok, videos TikTok peke yake. Go there, search for things on mental health, get to understand yourself, watch those videos, read those articles. It is really, really important. Get that person in your office, mwenye anaweza kuku encourage and ataweza kuku point to help. Yeah, so it is not a death sentence. Another thing, be your brother's keeper at all time. That is what I will keep encouraging you.
Thank you so much, Christine.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. Guys, I hope you've heard. Please, be your brother's keeper. Please. Hiyo ni very crucial. Angalia, salimia tu jirani. Like, mchekeshe tu kidogo. You never know. Maybe you're the medicine. Maybe anataka tu mtu mmoja amchekeshe kidogo afunguke. So thank you so much, Christine. We continue creating this thing of creating awareness around mental health because ni kitu, at least we are getting to learn. Our generation embrace. Sika kitambo. Sai kidogo we are beginning to learn about mental health. And we hope we are going to keep on learning and helping each other.
Yes.
And giving hope the same way you've done, the same way you're saying. Keeping hope, healing while you're advocating about. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Asante sana.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.